Okay, so I thought maybe we'd do a bit of an unboxing video as well as an installation video. I have just received the active target from Lowrance, the module and the transducer to go with my Elite FS9 head unit. What I'll be using is basically what's on the table. A fellow Yak Hunters member has helped me out by helping me make up a pole for the transducer to mount to, and we've also received early one of Burley Pro's new EMB boards. Marty has got hold of one of these early for me. I think they are currently out. We've had this one for a little while. As you can see, I've got the two 17.5 amp hours on there for the moment. But a massive thanks goes to Marty for getting that out to me. I will eventually upgrade to the 50 amp hour from FPV, but currently just for setup and testing, I'm going to use the 17.5s as I haven't grabbed my 50 amp yet. But these currently are available, I think, on Marty's shop, and I think from memory they're around $69. They are a great option for mounting your electronics to, and he has pre-drilled them all to suit the Lowrance active target module as well as a 50 amp hour battery. So basically we'll move from here and I'll work off the table and we'll do a complete unboxing and what's in the box, and then we'll move through to an installation video. Okay, so let's go through what we get in the box. Remove the receipt, we don't need that in there for the moment. Okay, so obviously the manual. And here we've got all our fittings and the transducer. So we'll just work through and pull sort of everything out to get ready to be installed. Ethernet cable for the module, mount and adapters, hardware kit. Module. What we might do is sort of lay everything out on the table, I think, and we can sort of go through where we're at and what we need to fit and where. I might just pull that out, I think. Lowrance have gone away with the throwaway packaging, and all this stuff's supposed to be biodegradable and you can run it through water and it's all recycled and yeah, less in impact on the environment. So basically that's what you get in the box. That's the warranty information, I'll put that aside. So everything we need to install the active target is basically here. So we'll go through pulling it all apart, we'll clean the table a little bit and we'll bring the board back over to mount the module, and we'll start with mounting the module in place. And then we'll move the kayak over to the table and start working through from there with the actual installation physically on the kayak. Okay, so I've pulled everything just out of the boxes quickly, just to show you guys. That's everything laid out on the table, all of our fittings and adapters, as it's supposed to sort of be mounted to a shaft or a trolling motor, so we won't use any of the trolling motor stuff going into a kayak and using the targeting pole. So we'll mount the module now and we'll work our way back through that, and we'll work our way over to that and work through till we get to the kayak where we can start fitting it out and installing it all physically on the kayak. So we'll start with mounting the module. That's not going to work. So I just went and grabbed some slightly thicker screws to go through. Ideally I probably should have mounted it with some nuts and bolts, but I don't have any on hand at the moment, so we'll just work with what we got for the moment. I can change this out later pretty easy. Just for the time being, that'll hold it in place. Then I can change them out later to some better nuts and bolts. Okay, so we'll work our way through. We'll mount the transducer mount to our shaft. To start with, pull these up through. They're pretty good now with those little rubbers. They give you the sort of help grip onto the pole. I don't think that's going to move anywhere. So we'll move on to running the transducer cable through the pole so we can move on to mounting the transducer. Lining the line up with each other. There we go. Module's mounted for the time being. Obviously we've got enough adjusters that we can actually rotate it around to any position we want to get any of the different angles that we need to get for the scout and down forward positions that offers. So we'll work through to the next step from here. Which will most likely be routing the cables, to be completely honest with you guys. So I'll bring the kayak over, we'll stop this for a moment, we'll put the table down and we'll bring the kayak in to start the install on the kayak side. Okay guys, so what we're going to go through next, we're going to run the transducer cable as well as the Ethernet cable through the whole of the kayak. We'll start by trying to utilize the Hobie cable management. I do think we're going to have to take the plug out of here. I don't have any plugs that are actually big enough for this transducer cable. It's so large. So what I'm thinking is I might just goop around the cable once it's in place to try and hold it, just to give it a little bit of water tightness. But yeah, I think that's our best bet. There isn't any plugs. I've got a couple of spare bags worth of plugs and a full set of Hobie plugs, and I don't have one that's actually big enough for that cable. It only just fits through the hole by the looks of it. So we'll move through with this, and if I come up with a better solution or someone else sees a better solution, let me know so that we can utilize the actual management of the cables. So we'll just undo these. I'm going to try and do to start. That's a thinner cable, so I think I'll use that plug. I'll take that off there. We might go with the thick cable first, I think, just because of the sheer size of it. But I've got a double cable for the Ethernet to go up with the power cable for the sounder. As you can see, that's really tight. It just fits, so we'll feed that through. Try and make sure we keep our rubber gasket. The hole mounted. I'll give you a better look at that after. I've only got that there just so that the transducer's up at the height to make it easier to run the cable. And I've got the kayak up on a bench at the moment, just so it's at my waist height. It's a bit easier than having to bend over the whole time while I'm working on it. Aside for a minute. Up it. leave myself a bit of spare cable. I should be able to pull it in and out. So until I'm completely comfortable with where it sits, I won't goop it straight away. Obviously I want to go out and test it first as well. So now we'll run that Ethernet cable through. That's how cables ran. We'll move forward to the front now with the electronic mounting board with the module, and we'll go from there, connect the power up and have a look at what it looks like and move on from that. Okay guys, so we just got to do some soldering and a bit of cable stuff. Basically, just to give you guys an idea, as you see there, I've actually twisted the red and the yellow. The yellow is your switching wire, your red is your positive, and your black is your negative. The switching wire can be connected up to the head unit itself so that you can turn the module on and off, or you can actually put a switch between to turn the module on and off for the active target. Because I fish out of a kayak, I'm going to be predominantly using it more, so for me, I'm just going to have it on there all the time. I'm not out for days at a time, I'm out for 8, 10, 12 hours. Once again, it doesn't bother me, it'll be running on the battery, it'll turn the module on, I don't have to muck around. So that's my choice, that's how I want to run it. We've also got the fusible linked to go between, so we'll be setting that up as well, and we'll be soldering that in place, as you can see there, the fuse. So, and then we'll be connecting it up to an FPV end connector. So basically it means we can just run FPV batteries, screw it on, job done, hassle free. So I'm just going to solder these together quickly. Okay guys, so we've just moved the camera to the front of the kayak. We're about to fit the electronic mounting board. You'll see why these are a really great option from Burley Pro for mounting electronics, especially a module. Basically they just use some clips that go onto the mast, so they push on pretty easily, and keeps all your cables nicely routed through here to keep everything out of the way. So give you a look at what it looks like. So basically it just goes like that. Clips into place. That's it there guys, and that's clipped in. So as you can see, it's relatively pretty sturdy. It does wobble a touch, but that's probably because of the weight. I might just grab a bucket just to show you guys. So even with the front hatch liner, it still fits and it seals and locks in. So they're a good option if you want to use your liner. So basically we'll start moving forward and start connecting things up. So that's me sounder power. That's mounted into there. Tidied that up a little bit. We'll mount the sounder now and I'll bring you guys over to that and we'll show you the setup on the sounder and plugging that in, and we're pretty much done. Okay guys, so we'll fire up the unit. We've powered everything up. Now it's all connected, the connections are all on. Well, that's firing up. I'll give you a quick look. Yeah, all the back's on. And not really sure if you can see. We'll pull that out and show you. The module's fired up there, it's all powered up. So we're working away on that one there. Put that back in place, just so you guys can see. Active target has been enabled. As you go guys, it's automatically seen it. Active target has been discovered on your system. There is some important configuration steps to complete before this feature is ready to be used. Configure now, fresh or salt. I predominantly fish salt estuary, so we'll go with salt. Active target is now ready to use. You can adjust these settings anytime. Finish. Do you wish? No. So we'll just go back to our pages menu. And there we go guys, active target is there. So we click on active target. It's currently in auto. I've got the module set up in Scout, so not that it really is working. Obviously we're not in any water. We've got the currently set up on the table, 80-foot range. So we'll have a play around with that and get it out on the water for a bit of a test and go from there. It is important guys to remember that you do update your unit though. So go through your system, you're about, mine is connected to my phone, so it was already updated. If you go check the system updates, and it'll tell you there. You can also go online through the Lowrance page and do it there as well. So that's just about it guys. I'll give you a bit of a walk around and show you it setting up the pole. So currently that's how we've got that set up there with the pole. So pretty much, you know, I can move it around. I've got a stop there, so I can just adjust the height to whatever I want it to be. So lifts up, drop that down, tighten the nut up to where I want to put the stop. So obviously I'll have to have a play around with all of that as we go, but again, it's all connected, powered up, active.